Today, we'll be talking about the manager's leading techniques in changing business environment. Donegan Edmondson Turner Accountants is a firm that provides an old-fashioned service to its clientele with financial and accounting needs. Donegan Edmondson Turner Accountants was founded in 1965 when John Donegan decided to branch out and to help and to service thousands of clients. The success of this firm has led to launch a complimentary service, Donegan's Wealth Advisors, in 2012. Today we'll be interviewing one of the directors of Donegan Edmondson Turners, Alison Fernanda. With her help, she will create a better understanding the importance of managers' leading techniques in a changing business environment with her 28 years of experience working in a financial service industry. Alison has completed a Bachelor of Business at RMIT University, has subsequently completed a Graduate Diploma of Financial Planning through Financial Services Institute of Australia and a Master Law at Monash University. Her extensive knowledge has driven Donegan Edmondson Turner Accountants to great success, creating long-term relationships with its clients. Leading is the ability to motivate and inspire employees in the best interests of the organization. It is an important managerial function as employees are the key foundation to any successful business. Business objectives cannot be met without motivated employees, as motivated employees can achieve higher levels of output, therefore maximizing efficiency and effectiveness in the workplace. Alison Fernanda uses leading as a way to communicate with her employees, having deep one-on-one conversations to help guide employees and being a career mentor for them. The feedback given by employees is also reflected upon the business as it evaluates the overall performance of Donegan's Edmondson Turner Accountants and to see if it has met its business objectives and goals. Leading is a very important managerial function to Alison, as Donegan Edmondson Turner Accountants is a client service organization and are very client-centric towards them. So staff must ensure that all clients feel important and also have met their needs. If Alison were not to lead a team of staff to service a client, one of the staff may not do their job role effectively, causing the client to be upset. However, if teamwork leading is accomplished, the client is pleased with the service, providing a positive outcome for the business. Rewards such as high income is typically a short-term motivation for most employees. However, for Donegan Edmondson Turner Accountants, it's the positive work culture in the organization rather than having a higher income. Alison communicates with her team so they feel important and are valued to the business, as employees share valuable information and ideas on how it can benefit the business and themselves. This enables a healthy relationship between Alison and her employees, progressively moving forward as an organization.
So this is Alison Fernanda. She's a director at Donegan's Edmondson Turner. I've just got a few questions for her. What has changed over the last 5 years in the organisation / business for you?
Heaps. We've bought another practice, so doubled our staff. Legislative change has meant from the financial planning and wealth management, I've got a heap of more compliance I've got to deal with. And I'm dealing with a lot more administration than I've ever had to deal with in financial services in 30 years.
How have these changes affected the employees that you currently have, both positively and negatively?
Okay, the takeover or the purchase of the new practice affected, I think our original employees were quite excited by it. The new employees that came with it, the practice, it's been an interesting journey bedding down that relationship. We're still yet to merge both offices into one location. The changes affected both the employees currently. I'd say we've still got a few challenges to go with employees there about getting that relationship to work properly between all the employees. from a legislative point of view, we have to spend a lot more time. Our employees have a lot more time that they've got to spend making sure they've dotted every I, crossed every T, done everything properly, which we've always had to do, but now there's even more and more legislative pressure as a result. And particularly in the last 12 months with the Banking Royal Commission, it's really impacted how we operate from a financial planning perspective.
Are you familiar at all with the management theories?
Oh, look, maybe years ago, but I couldn't tell you anything now.
So one of them is bureaucratic management, which is management through logical principles to achieve organisational goals in the most efficient way. A good example of this is BMW. They manage themselves through bureaucratic management. What tasks do you enjoy the most and least regarding leading people in the workplace?
What I enjoy the least, I hate it when you have to pull someone up because they haven't met your expectations, and dealing with people, leading people to go on the same journey as you. That's if they're slightly not in line with you, it's really difficult. But it's also can be the most enjoyable getting them on board with you and creating the relationship. I really enjoy the one-on-one sort of relationships I get with leading people by sitting down and just working with them and guiding them and career mentoring, all of that sort of stuff. But I would have to say that the least enjoyable task is when someone doesn't meet your expectations and you give them many, many opportunities and they still can't quite get there, and you have to deal with it.
Would you say that's also the most challenging part of leading someone in the workplace or a team?
Not necessarily. The most challenging part is getting everyone to work together. And whilst you might have a view, the most challenging part is having staff or having members of your team who are quite willing to share their thoughts and comfortable enough in their own skin to know that they can share their thoughts and be respected. And that's probably the most rewarding part when you have a team of people who do that.
So you find it more rewarding as in the teamwork rather than the actual outcome?
No. Outcome is always incredibly important. It's the teamwork leading up to getting the correct outcome for clients. We're in client services organisation, and we're client-centric. So it's all about making sure that the client feels important and that we've met their needs. And so it has to be part of a team. And if someone doesn't do their part, sometimes the client can be pretty upset.
What do you find motivates employees best for you? Is it like a financial benefit, or is it?
It's generally not money.
A different other way. How would you?
It's about having a great culture in your workplace, about enabling people to be accountable, to own what they do. It's about giving staff autonomy and about them to feel comfortable enough, as I said earlier, to actually come in and suggest something and know that it's going to be thought about and not just dismissed.
And what skills do you think are most important for you to lead people moving forward?
Oh, I would say communication, ability to sit down and just spend time with someone to understand them and to work out what it is that they're after and how the two of you can work together. What it is that you've got that complements them, what they've got that complements you, and where you zig and they zag, how you can do it together.
Well, thank you for that. That was really helpful. Thanks.
So from our interview with Alison Fernanda, we found that one of the main issues that managers have to deal with today that they didn't so much in the past is being agile and adaptable to change. So with the general business environment changing at such a fast rate, it's really important for managers to be able to adapt to change with as little effort as possible. They should lead their employees to be ready to deal with change and be open-minded when it comes to change in the business. One of the main changes that has affected Alison's business is related to new legislation and regulations that they must adhere to. One of the things that drives changes in regulation is technology and the need to protect private information of clients. With more processes in businesses becoming digitalized and done on computers, It is necessary for businesses to have cybersecurity measures in place. Businesses, particularly in the financial services industry, such as Donegan, Edmondson, Turner Accountants, have had to adapt to changes relating to the recent Royal Commission into the banking industry. Because of this, there is more administration and regulation for businesses in this sector. Alison said in the interview that she is dealing with a lot more administration in her business than she has in the past because of this. So managers need to be up to date on changes in legislation and lead their employees to be honest and abide by the law. What we saw in the Royal Commission is that, in the recent Royal Commission, is that managers were not leading their employees to do the right thing and follow regulations, and as a result of that, they were punished. In our interview, Alison really emphasised the importance for managers to have good communication skills. Communication involves the successful conveying or sharing of ideas and feelings, or in other words, receiving and transmitting information effectively. With good communication skills comes good interpersonal skills and the ability to form meaningful relationships with employees, which therefore increases morale and productivity. Another skill that is important is planning, which is defined as deciding on and making arrangements for the future. This involves looking ahead to hopefully identify issues that may arise in the future. When issues do arise, managers need good problem-solving abilities to resolve issues in the best possible way. Managers must also be able to delegate, which essentially involves assigning the right tasks to the right people. They must be able to motivate employees and encourage them to complete their tasks efficiently and effectively. Some characteristics to be a successful manager are experience and knowledge, charisma, organization, reliability, confidence, and respect. Having experience and knowledge in their field is not necessarily important for a manager, but it can make employees more willing to listen to their ideas and follow their lead, as they trust that the manager knows what they're talking about. Charisma is defined as compelling attractiveness or charm that can inspire devotion in others. Charisma makes managers likable to their employees and makes them more likely to respect them and follow their lead. Organization involves being systematic and efficient in dealing with all processes in the business. Being reliable makes employees trust their manager, which therefore increases their willingness to follow organizational objectives. Confidence encourages employees that the manager is leading them down the right path and their decision to do so is informed. Managers should also be respectful, not just to the employees, but to the environment, the law, and the general community. So improvements that I think I should make from what I've learned from the interview are, firstly, to be highly agile and able to adapt to changes in legislation and technology with as little effort as possible, and also to have an open mind when it comes to change, be ready and accepting of change. And to not get too stuck in my ways, basically just have an open mind. Something else I've learned is to be vigilant, looking out for changes in laws and regulations that might concern your operations. So you could do this by staying informed, watching the news, and just looking at what's happening in Parliament that might affect my business or your business. Another thing that I've learned from the interview is, Alison touched on this one, so forming meaningful relationships with employees and just treating them with respect, which really works to encourage them to do their best work and help you achieve your organizational objectives. So really, to do this, you need to well, I would need to focus on and build my emotional intelligence to get a better understanding of mine and my employees' emotions to deal with them as best as I can.